of the blood we left from stone and earth. Red is the color of the ink we use to claim its worth. Gray is the color of the hispanics we're living in. Green is the color of the fuel for the fire my hope runs thin. We need a worldwide revolution, retribution, restitution, revolution. We need a worldwide revolution, the preservation of heritation from any nation.
Okay, so Anthony served, like he was being served tickets. So he served the officer a summons, and the summons, we gave a summons date for Zoom. And of course they didn't show up, but we had a jury, and our adjudicator was safeguarder, and the evidence was all presented. Like Anthony had to explain what happened, and the officer didn't show up, but we had somebody stand in, like an amicus, stand in and attempt a defense of the police officer, and he did a really good job. It was Dan Oak, and he got right into it, like trying to give whatever arguments that he could give. And we had a jury, and the jury deliberated. They went into one of those what do they call them, lockout rooms?
Yes, something like that. So just explain how this is all is like legal and legitimate.
Yeah, how does
That's how what a lot of people are trying to understand.
It's all legal and legitimate, because like say if your dog went next door and damaged their property, right? Or your next door neighbor came and damaged your property. I should say it like that. And say it was $500 worth of damage. The first thing you would do is go to the neighbor and say, hey, your dog broke this and that and whatever in my yard, you owe me $500. Okay, if they say screw you, well then you'd start to pressure them. Give me my money, give me my money, give me my money. And you're always supposed to start any debt like that. You're not supposed to just like run to court the next day, right? You're supposed to start collection process. You could put a lien on their house. You could go to a collection agency and get the collection agency to call them saying you owe $500, you owe $500. It doesn't have to be a contract, it can be owed like that. And then you can go to court, and if you get if you win your court case, then you can be accorded the money. So in this case, we're claiming that there's a violation of our rights in the police overriding the constitutional rights when they're passing these tickets out. And in the act itself, it says they're supposed to respect the charter in the application of these fines. And we also know that they're supposed to respect the Bill of Rights. So that's what it says in the summons, that the officer is being charged for violating the Emergency Measures and Civil Protections Act section. I forget which one it is, but there's a section that says they're supposed to follow the charter. And they're also violating section 2, which is protest rights, and section 1, which is protest rights out of the Bill of Rights. So that's what they're being charged of. And then it's like a process where we're giving them a chance to have, say, a dialogue with other people there that can hear both sides of the story. Like, it wasn't really my dog, or my dog didn't break that, it was already broken, or whatever kind of defense they have. You're giving them an opportunity to have a dialogue about what the circumstances are. If he doesn't come, he still owes the money. So you can take further steps to collect that money, which would be, direct, a direct claim towards them, like a demand letter saying you owe $10,000 for these violations, pay up.
So what's the likelihood of that happening, of him having to actually pay that $10,000? Is that how it works? Like, what's the likelihood?
Oh, likelihood of him paying is kind of irrelevant, because if you get there's some other things that are going on. You can, if you find out where they live, you can put a lien on their house. And if there's a lien on their house, then they cannot borrow money, and they can't sell their house either. Well, there's a lien on it. And that can stretch out for 2 years, probably max. Well, I don't know about when the when the courts close, maybe even longer. But under normal circumstances, it would be about 2 years. That would bite their ass hard.
So
And
how does the lien work? Like how would that all work? Because you can't just willy-nilly just go and put a lien on somebody's
yeah,
house.
you can actually.
You can just willy-nilly just put a lien on somebody's house.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just ask you to. They just ask you to you declare whether you're making this lien within 45 days after the invoice. You have a maximum time, right? So we gave them 30 days to pay. So like 45 days after that, you have to file your lien within that 45 days.
Black is the color of the blood we left from stone and earth. Red is the color of the ink we used to claim its worth. Gray is the color of the Hispanics we're living in. Green is the color of the fuel for the fire. My hope runs thin. We need a worldwide revolution, retribution, restitution.